So today I'm sending this absolutely beautiful book to the US, to someone in Dallas, Texas, and they have paid $400 for the actual book. I did have it listed for quite a bit more, but, you know, this book cost me $2.50, so I'm not going to quibble over that, so $400 is great. So the book is called Adventures in Equatorial Africa by Paul du Chaillu, and I'll just show you a little bit of the book because there's some lovely things in it. So in here we have this wonderful illustration of a gorilla, and this is purportedly one of the first illustrations ever of a gorilla, that someone went to Africa and actually researched gorillas and drew this drawing, and the first time it got taken back to Europe, which makes this book a little special. The book is heavily illustrated throughout with some amazing images. So here we've got the grand reception by the cannibals. And this is, I believe, how they got close enough to draw the gorillas in detail by hunting them, which is a bit grisly, but that was back in 1861. That's another one. This is the headwaters of the, crikey, in the Tambunay River, I presume. This one is the Oganga, which is the witch doctor, I presume, exorcising a sorcerer. This time we have a native tossed by a wild bull. And I am filming quite a few of these images because I want a bit of a record of what the book was like, because I kind of wanted to keep it. River navigation by Equatorial Africa. And look at all the wildlife in the trees and the vines. Spectacular, isn't it? That's just a wild bull. So there they are, camped for the night. And there's a leopard who's attacking a bull. Crossing a mangrove swamp. But have a look at the size of that snake coming down from the top. Oh, gives me the creeps. Elephant battle among the fans. And there are lots of images of, like, the natives. There's also a map that folds out in the back, but I won't fold that right out. And this is, sadly, I think what they did to get close to a lot of the gorillas to start to draw them. Death of the gorilla. And a Pingi village. And there we have a gorilla and the baby. Quite a few of the pictures that have been drawn, like this one, of the different type of monkeys and gorillas, they've put a bit of vanity leaves in the right spot. But yeah, it's an amazing book. Crocodile hunting on Lake Enengi. But anyway, so because this is going all the way to America, I do want to make sure it's getting there safely. So I've chosen to do a couple of different things. I'm going to use an Australia Post box, even though I don't need to, but I don't have anywhere I can go and buy a new box in town, because I'm in a small country town, of course. And the small size, whilst this book fitted in there in the smallest size box, I wouldn't have been able to add any extra padding to it. So I've had to go to this size, and make sure that I fill it enough to make sure the book doesn't get damaged. So the first thing I've chosen to do is I've got this quite thick foam sheeting, so I'm going to put that this way, and that will protect the page block. Because also, part of the aim is to make sure, I mean, you can package something up in a great way, but it also needs to be light enough that it's not going to cost you an absolute fortune for the postage. The postage for this was just over $100 that they have paid, but yeah, I don't want to go, you know, you don't want to go wasting money by going over that. And yeah, whilst this is good to use the cling wrap too, don't go overboard with it either, because, you know, whilst it's light, if you add too much of it, you are also again going to increase the weight too much. So it's providing enough protection but not overdoing it. But yeah, this foam sheeting's great. I only use it on very special books and putting it on the page block. And then what I found that I had, which was a perfect size, is this beautiful little presentation box, which I think may fit in there just about right, if I'm correct. Yes, perfect. And that'll again provide extra protection, but also presentation wise will look really nice as long as it'll fit. And then I'll slip my thank you card in the top there. So that's a nice way of presenting it for when they do unwrap it. And then this box will actually fit quite snugly widthwise in here, but I just have to make sure there's enough protection in the box, or enough stuff in the box to fill in the gaps. Any of this sort of stuff that I get from when I receive stuff, it's worthwhile keeping. Another piece of foam that I kept from something else. So maybe I'll take that out. I'll scrunch that up. Because I'm not sending this using, like, within Australia flat rate, it doesn't matter that I've pushed the side out a bit, because it's going internationally, so the flat rate postage doesn't count. We're done. So now all I need is the pen and just a scrap of cardboard. So you'll notice when you do, I'm going to measure this because the actual measurements, when you get a box like this for Australia Post, even if you're sending it within Australia, the measurements on here aren't for the outside of the box, so don't take that as the measurements. That's actually for what you can put in the box. So that's the inside measurements. So, and plus I've pushed the sides out a little bit on this. So this actually is 26 centimetres. But I will put it into, when I do the calculated shipping, I will put it in as 27, just to give it a bit of extra. And so that says 190 ml. Well, this comes to 20 and a bit. So yeah, just be aware of that. That's for the inside. So you've always got to add a bit for the outside. And then that says it's 120 millimeter high. Well, it's actually at 130. So it's 13 high. And then, of course, you want to know the damage. I don't know whether these scales will be short. These ones go up to, oh no, it's not too bad. So I think these, oh, much better. So that's 1.343. So 1 kilogram and 340, it just went up 45 grams. So it's good. So it'll go in the up to 1.5 kilogram weight. So there you go.
Hey boys and girls, gather around. Grumpy Granny's here, rocking this town. We're talking eBay, Depop, and Etsy too. Latest trends and deals coming right to you. Grumpy Granny's Reselling news. Get the tips, the tricks, the do's and don'ts to use. From bargains to bids and what's sold high. We're riding the waves, watch the profits fly. Vintage finds on brand new threads. Check the sales reports, what's knocking heads. Shipping hacks and offers, deals galore. You'll be cashing in like never before. Grumpy Granny's Reselling news. Cool collections to hot reviews. We're moving stock and smashing goals. Let's watch those treasures turn into gold. Grumpy Granny's Reselling news. Get the tips, the tricks, the do's and do's. From bargains to bids and what's so high. We're riding the waves, watch the profits fly. Vintage finds or brand new threads. Check the sales reports, what's knocking heads. Shipping hacks and offers, deals galore. You'll be cashing in like never before. Grumpy Granny's Reselling news. From cool collections to hot reviews. We're moving stock and smashing goals. Let's watch those treasures turn into gold. Work the hustle, make it count. Listing fast, don't miss the mount. Grumpy Granny's got your back. In the resale game, you're on the attack. Granny's Reselling news with top advice that you can't refuse. We're flipping finds and showing you how in this reseller life.